Acaban de matar a alguien. Le dieron a alguien. Ay, no, no puede ser. Ay, no. Acaban de matar a alguien. Creemos que fue el presidente.
¿Dónde están? Ahí espérense.
Por aquí, por aquí.
Sí, me preocupé por lo que...
Carlos Alberto Manzo was a Mexican politician, renowned for his outspoken and uncompromising stance against organized crime. He served as a federal deputy from 2021 to 2024, before resigning to run as an independent candidate for mayor of his hometown, Uruapan, Michoacan. Manzo won the election and took office in 2024. He gained national attention for his zero-tolerance approach to criminal gangs and his vocal criticism of the federal government's security policies. On November 1, 2025, Manzo and his family were attending the Festival de las Velas during a Day of the Dead celebration when he was suddenly shot 7 times by a gunman in a crowded plaza filled with families and festival-goers. Law enforcement officers stationed nearby responded immediately, confronting the assailant and killing him on the spot. The plaza erupted into panic, with festival-goers fleeing and some sustaining minor injuries in the stampede. Emergency medical teams rushed Manzo to a nearby hospital where he succumbed to his wounds. The shooter was later identified as 17-year-old Victor Manuel Ubaldo Vidales, who had ties to organized crime and a history of methamphetamine use. 2 accomplices, reportedly acting as lookouts and getaway coordinators, were also arrested during the incident. The weapon used in the attack had been linked to previous violent confrontations between local gangs. Manzo's assassination sparked widespread outrage, violent protests, and nationwide calls for justice, highlighting the dangerous environment faced by local leaders confronting drug cartels. Following his death, his widow Grisha Quiroz was sworn in as mayor, continuing his fight against cartel violence in one of Mexico's most troubled regions. 2 TikTok videos of the assassination went viral. One showing Manzo carrying a child and interacting with residents before the shooting, and another capturing the chaos in the aftermath of the shooting. At first glance, this video might seem lighthearted, showing the band Los Alegres del Barranco performing live. However, when you read the caption providing context, that they are performing for a cartel, it takes on a much darker meaning. Some viewers have pointed out that one of the band members appears anxious or worried, as if he might be forced to play. In certain regions of Mexico, It has been reported that criminal organizations, including drug cartels, sometimes coerce bands into performing at private parties or events. This is usually done through threats or intimidation, leaving musicians with little choice if they want to stay safe. The genres most commonly targeted are regional Mexican styles, such as banda, norteño, or duranguense, which are popular at these gatherings. Refusing to perform can put musicians in serious danger, and compliance is often seen as the only way to survive. Los Alegres del Barranco were also in the news earlier this year for allegedly losing their U.S. visas due to performing narco corridos in support of a cartel, highlighting how their music and affiliations can have real-life consequences. Another danger for bands is that other cartels may view these videos and interpret them as taking sides, which can be extremely risky for the performers. While this is not typical in the mainstream music industry, it shows the real influence cartels can have in certain areas, and the very real threats musicians face. On July 12, 2025, Nicole Fernanda Poguer left her home in Hortolândia, São Paulo, Brazil, to meet her 17-year-old boyfriend, whose name has not been released. During the visit, Nicole reportedly discovered that he was also involved with another girl, aged 14, whose identity remains undisclosed. The revelation led Nicole to end their relationship. 2 days later, exactly 2 months after her 15th birthday, her boyfriend convinced her to meet again, claiming he wanted to talk things over and reconcile. However, it was a trap. Nicole never returned home and was soon reported missing by her family. Days later, her body was discovered buried in a lagoon in Hortolândia. Authorities quickly identified and apprehended the boyfriend and the 14-year-old girl as suspects. Investigations revealed that Nicole had been dismembered inside the boyfriend's home. The pair allegedly sent messages from Nicole's phone in an attempt to mislead her family and conceal the crime. Although this remains the last publicly released information about the case, Nicole's story continues to resonate deeply online. Many people have created TikTok tributes in her memory, including emotional edits that begin with footage of Nicole alive and gradually transition to scenes where she is absent, set against deteriorating backgrounds that symbolize her loss and give the videos an eerie feel. On the night of Tuesday, June 24th, 2025, a tragic mass shooting shattered a religious celebration in the Barrio Nuevo neighborhood of Irapuato, Guanajuato, Mexico. Gunmen opened fire on participants who had gathered to celebrate the Nativity of John the Baptist, a traditional Catholic holiday, turning the festive atmosphere into scenes of chaos and panic. The attack claimed the lives of at least 12 people, including a 17-year-old, 8 adult men, and 2 women, and left around 20 others injured. Several children were among those harmed. Eyewitnesses and video footage captured the horrifying moment, showing people dancing and celebrating just before the fire erupted. Authorities in Irapuato immediately launched a joint operation involving local police and federal forces to identify and apprehend those responsible. Preliminary investigations suggest that the attack was linked to ongoing cartel-related violence in Guanajuato, Mexico's deadliest state, which has been plagued by violent confrontations between criminal organizations competing for control of drug trafficking routes. The brutality of the massacre and its timing during a religious celebration sent shockwaves through the community. A TikTok video later circulated widely, showing the attendees dancing moments before the shooting, and then the sudden chaos that followed, bringing the tragedy to national and international attention.
Mira, Coco, ¿quién se te apareció aquí? Mira, se te apareció el Vitachi, hijo de tu puta madre.
On July 9th, 2025, TikTok user Leobardo Peña uploaded one of the most disturbing videos I've seen on the platform in quite some time. In the footage, a man sitting in the passenger seat of a truck films a shocking scene. A dead body wrapped in a black plastic bag is taped to a pillar just outside what appears to be a garbage dump, in what is likely a location in Mexico. the man recording can also be heard mentioning the name El Batachi, which could be a reference to Hector Bernal Mercado, better known as El Batachi. He was a notorious figure, serving as the chief of hitmen for the Munguia Villarreal brothers, who in turn operated under the top leadership of the Sinaloa cartel. He was accused of orchestrating hundreds of murders and was a central figure in the cartel's violent operations. El Batachi was executed by gunfire inside a truck on a street in the 21st de Marzoe neighborhood of Culiacan on September 4, 2020. His death marked a significant moment in the ongoing cycle of violence tied to drug trafficking in the region. Although his name was mentioned in the video, it remains unclear whether he had any direct connection to the body shown in the footage, or if the reference was made for another reason entirely. This next video was submitted by some of our subscribers, and it immediately caught our attention. It appears to have been filmed inside an abandoned building, where incredibly realistic zombies can be seen trapped behind bars, desperately reaching toward the cameraman as if trying to get out. Adding to the eerie atmosphere, a person dressed as a doctor in scrubs, carrying a medkit, is also visible. After some digging, I was able to trace the video back to TikTok user Juan Alejandro. On May 20th, 2025, Juan posted several videos highlighting what he calls the zombie experience. It turns out that the footage was taken during this zombie-themed haunted attraction, where visitors are invited to walk through an abandoned building while actors dressed as zombies attempt to scare them at every turn. One of Juan's TikTok posts includes a poster with an address, suggesting that the attraction is located in downtown Lima, Peru. The combination of the abandoned setting, the immersive actors, and attention to detail makes this attraction look incredibly lifelike, which could explain why some of you thought it was authentic footage of zombies.